Okay guys, now I'm at my AWS console. So choose step function, state machines, and we will create state machine. We choose blank, and then there are several panels in here. The you can close this one, and the left panel tells you what action that you can do in this AWS step functions, actions, flow, and patterns. But for our tutorials today, I just use the AWS lambda function as action. Now let's give it a name and give it simple addition, and then you can choose the API parameters, but I have already prepared a lambda function, so you can choose enter function name, and then we insert the lambda function ARN. Go to here, lambda. Let's open some lambda function. This is my function, simple addition. So basically it takes two numbers and then perform some operation on those numbers. So if I think it is simple enough, so we will take the numbers from event, and then events will contain first number and then second number. Let's test this function. Okay, if you want to know the payload, so this is the payload. The first number is 5 and then the second number is 10. When I invoke that, the lambda function return the correct answer is 15. 5 plus 10. Simple enough. So back to here and click function ARN, and then paste it here. Okay, I think everything is set up. Then let's create the function. Oh, by the way, before creating the function, I think we should config it first. Okay, let's give our step function a name, simple addition workflow. Okay, and there are two types. The first one is standard and the second one is express. Because I want to integrate this step function with AWS API gateway, I need to choose express. Okay, right, express time. So create role. A new execution role will be created with full permissions. Okay, I think that's okay. For logging level, I want to log all the events, but honestly, you could log error only to save some costs. But for this tutorial, I want to log all. Okay, let's create the step function. Yes, let's confirm this. Alright, I have an error here. Failed to create CloudWatch group because the specified log group already exists. So let's give it some new names. Like we delete this workflow, then just give it, and then create again. Okay, Alhamdulillah, the step function is created. Now let's start execution. We can use the same payload from the lambda function, copy, and then paste it in here. So let's start the execution. In this execution window, you will get a flowchart with the status of your execution. The green ones mean your execution was succeeded. So this page tells you the start time and the end time of your execution. Because our function is simple enough, so it took only a few milliseconds, I think. And then it tells you the execution ARN, this is important, and also it tells you about the IAM role. If somehow your step function is lack of permissions, you could click this and then add your permission into the IAM role page. Yes, you can add permission by attaching some policies, but I don't want to do this right now. Okay, it is done, and in these right panels you can see that what was the input for the state and what was the output. So the input is first number and second number, 5 and 10, and then this is the tasks input. But if you click the tasks, and you will get the clean input, and the output for the task result is this is quite long. But if you scroll down, you can get the actual output, which is 15. Okay, from this perspective, I think it is done. Let's set up some API gateway. Okay, so let's create the AWS API gateway. REST API, build new API. Let's give it a name, simple addition. API endpoint type regional, then create API. Okay, it's created. Let's create some resource in here. So we'll create a simple addition, create resource, then we can create method. This is the most important things. I think this is a key things. We choose AWS service, and then the region, step function, so it will be post the action name. So this is the correct action name. Start sync execution. So execution role, we can come back to our simple addition, and this is our the execution role. Yes, we need to go back to IAM, and then we need to create the role. Let's create a role for AWS service. For the sake of the tutorial, I insert these 4 roles, but for the best practice at your production and environment, please put only the minimal and the correct roles. Scroll up, then let's copy this and paste to this page. Okay, method request settings, action name, I think is good. Okay, let's create the method. Oh, forget this. So AWS service, step function is good. Okay, it's good. Let's create the method. So in this step, that you have successfully to create the AWS API gateway for simple addition. But note that in this API gateway, it doesn't know where is your simple addition workflow state machine. So because it doesn't ask, it didn't ask previously what is the Amazon resource name. So we can go back to here, and then in the integration request, okay, click edit, and then on the same page, mapping templates, you click add mapping template. So this will be application slash JSON. Pass through. No, this, and then insert these few lines of code. Basically, this is a JavaScript code to parse your input and then to call your step function. This is this is a key things, and without this script, the API gateway doesn't know where to redirect your request. So after this, save this, then we can perform some tests in here. So the request body is the same payload from before. I can just take it from here, new execution, then copy and paste to our API gateway, and then let's test this. So there is an error. It said that because the API gateway does not have permission to assume the provided role at this role. So let's fix those things. Okay, this is a good thing. So let's come back to our IAM roles. Then the problem lies here. So the service is states Amazon AWS.com. This is wrong. So it should be, I believe, let's put this on the bracket, and then yes, create the trust policy for AWS API gateway. I believe it pi gateway.amazonaws.com. Okay, my bad, I was wrong. Let's update the policy. Policy has been updated. Let's come back to our API gateway and let's test this again. Still giving error. Let's give it some minutes. Yes, Alhamdulillah, after a few seconds, this API gateway give me the correct answer from the function. So in the response body, it include the billing details, response header is okay, the log is okay, and this is the payload. And then the most important thing is this is the output. Output is 15. So let's integrate this with a Postman. Let's open a Postman. I forgot to deploy this API. So deploy API. We will create a new state. State's name is dev, and then click deploy. Okay, it's been deployed, and then in the dev, this simple addition and post. So you can copy this URL and then paste it to the Postman. I have opened Postman, this add request, so this will technically so this is the correct URL in the body raw JSONs. So let's give the same payload. Yes, then click send. Yeah, so this is the response from the API gateway. Of course, we only need this output, so we need to get rid of all of this and get only the output. Now we are at our API gateway, back to resources, and then back to post to our method. Navigate to integration response, then edit this, go to mapping template, and then paste this line. Paste this line, and then let's write addition result is equals dollar input root output. So because in the previous output at the Postman, this is the path. So save that. Let's test it again with the same payload. Paste the test. So this is the result. Addition result is equal 15. After this is done, let's deploy our API again to the dev. Okay, I think it's deployed. Let's come back to Postman and hit it again. Yep, instead of a lot of response before, now it's return only the expected result, addition results. Okay, Thank you for watching. I hope it helps you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.